I made a reaction video yesterday to Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels talking to OnlyFans thoughts. Moguls, or they thought they were moguls. And I use that word lightly, right? Salute to KS. And I mentioned in the video that Kevin Samuels is Bitcoin. And I went on to say how Kevin Samuels' rise is similar to the rise of Bitcoin. However, I know that went over some people's heads because somebody left a comment stating, wait, Solo, are you saying that Kevin Samuels is gonna fall or crash? Whoa, I did not say that. But I decided, you know what? Let me expound on that concept of Kevin Samuels being just like Bitcoin, okay? When Kevin Samuels first came on YouTube in 2017, he was talking about style, fashion, cologne, and image, appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. Now, at the time when Kevin was talking about image like that, I had never heard anybody break it down. And the fact that Kevin has such an array of experience, right, in the field that he comes from, he had a skill set and niche that was very feasible and usable, and particularly that was needed in the self-improvement sector of YouTube, i.e. the Black manosphere or the manosphere in general. Now, over the years, if you've seen Kevin, you see how he has evolved, not just in regards to his content, but also the evolution of his image, right? And shout out to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. He did an excellent breakdown on that, and you can go watch the video. I'm gonna link it, where you can see how Kevin has evolved. But when I'm comparing Kevin Samuels to Bitcoin, when Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies first came out in 2009, it was because the housing market had crashed. The economy had crashed. And Satoshi Nakamoto saw a need that, you know what? The banks basically had screwed the people over. Inflation was going up. And there were a lot of people like myself who were coming out of college, or people who were in the field working, and we got screwed over, right? We came out of college, there's no jobs there, or you were working a job, and then all of a sudden you saw your full-time hours go to part-time, or you even lost your job, God forbid, right? And so Satoshi Nakamoto saw a need in the space, in the financial sector, and him coming up with Bitcoin revolutionized not just the financial sector, but also the world economy, period. However, things take time. When Bitcoin first came about, a lot of people didn't take Bitcoin seriously. Bitcoin initially was used a lot on, gambling websites and whatnot. And then it had a stigma for being used by criminals and the underground. Not saying that cryptocurrencies wasn't used by criminals or isn't used by criminals, but it had this negative connotations lined up with it, right? Same with Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuels first came on YouTube, and he told brothers, hey, stop wearing Jordans and have a shape up and cut off your dreads for a job interview, there was a lot of pushback. Kevin caught a lot of heat for that. However, Kevin, like any trendsetter, he stuck by his guns because Kevin understands and understood that what he's saying is true, that in the real world, most likely you're not going to get a job if you are rocking Jordans and dreads to an interview, right? And I can give you a real world example of that. I hope my homie doesn't mind me using him, but I have a friend, he's an actor by the name of Maurice Johnson. Salute to Maurice. And Maurice and we were having a conversation a few weeks ago where his agent kept telling him, hey, cut your dreads, because he wasn't getting a lot of jobs. Maurice decided, you know what? I think my agent isn't doing a good enough job. However, Maurice eventually did cut his dreads, and now he's getting more work, and he's even going to appear in a couple Marvel blockbusters, which I can't share. Kevin will even tell you that the concept of high value is nothing new. I mean, this has been talked about for years. Kevin has said that numerous times himself. However, what Kevin has been able to do is he's been able to communicate the concept of high value better than anybody. When I see my favorite YouTubers like Long Beach Griffey making parody videos, Or DJ Academics, shout out to AK, aka Ack, making reaction videos to Kevin Samuels, right? YouTubers that I admire, YouTubers that I watch, I'm like, woo, Kevin done made it. Just like Bitcoin, Kevin done made it. And Kevin also understands the market. And this is very important. And this is kind of personal to me too. And Kevin knows this. For 2 years, the last 2 years actually, I've been ranting about censorship and being shadow banned on YouTube. And I'm looking at people and I've been saying, hey, this guy's copying me, and this guy's taking my talking points, and this guy's taking my jokes. Kevin was like, Solo, hey. You gotta understand, Solo. A lot of people are gonna say what you're going to say, and even what you're saying is not really original. There's nothing new under the sun, Solo. It's about the market. The market decides, Solo. And it made sense. For the last 2 years, I've been going on YouTube and ranting and raving, not in a positive way, may I add, about being shadow banned and censorship and lack of support. And Kevin was able to break it down to me, unlike anybody else, that the market decides who's hot, who's popping. And they're going to be content creators. They're great. They have a wealth of knowledge. They have great concepts and great ideas. However, because of the fact that either one, they're not able to communicate those ideas very efficiently, or two, there's something that is holding them back and they may have to figure out. It could be their image, how they look. It could be their behavior. It could be even their appearance. That is holding them back. And I have to be honest with myself and really look in the mirror as an overweight black man that, you know what? I got to work on my image. And like, yeah, even though I'm, 20 to 30 pounds down, heck, my weight is fluctuating these last 5-10 pounds. You got to be critical with yourself. Now, I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be yet with my image, but I'm working on that. But back to the topic of Kevin Samuels and Bitcoin. When I say that Kevin Samuels is Bitcoin, what I'm talking about is that Kevin is revolutionizing the game, right? Just like Bitcoin is. For years, we've talked about the Pareto rule, hypergamy, the delusional standards of female entitlement, the rise of narcissism in female entitlement, along with how social media has affected dating, right? And what Kevin is able to do, just like Bitcoin, is that Kevin is able to simplify this and make people understand it, make the masses understand it, and is able to spread the message, right? Just like Bitcoin isn't bound by borders. Bitcoin isn't just bound to the USA. Bitcoin is global, it's worldwide. Heck, if they're aliens, it could be intergalactic, right? The point I'm trying to make is that with Bitcoin, it's not going anywhere. Eventually, Bitcoin will hit 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000 and beyond. Are there going to be corrections and dips? Of course. But Bitcoin has established itself and now has a track record for over a decade that Bitcoin is here to stay. And Kevin Samuels has been on YouTube now for 4 or 5 years. He's established himself. He has a track record, and he is here to stay as well. Bitcoin has not hit the top. Neither has Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels still has ways to go. And I think that when I make that comparison, that's what I meant by that. There are a lot of people here in the space that talk about the same things that Kevin talk about, but they're not able to break things down like he's able to break it down. And when people were dismissive of Kevin now in the past because of image, right? Well, Kevin now is having the last laugh because everything that Kevin ever talked about regarding image, regarding appearance, digital footprint, communication, and behavior, look at what he's done. Look at how he's improved his brand. And look at where he's at now. And then look at where you're at. In conclusion, a lot of people got to understand that the best thing to do is just be your best self. And Kevin has shown that he is his best self. And here's the thing. If Kevin Samuels is Bitcoin, I'm cool with that. Because guess what? I'm going to be Cardano. I'm going to be ADA. Okay? And I know that I have a lot to work on. And there's another YouTuber. You might be XLM or you might be Theta. It doesn't mean that there isn't space for guys there. And heck, you never know. I mean, Cardano and Theta and VeChain, they might blow up too one day. And they might one day give Bitcoin a run for its money, right? But what I'm saying is that Kevin is a trendsetter and he's a trailblazer in the space, just like Bitcoin. And I'm thankful for Kevin. With that being said, my name is Solomon Jones. Please check me out on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter at SOLOTV84. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter at SOLOTV84. If you want to know more about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, I have a cryptocurrency course. I do consultations as well. Hit one of the links in the description, and I'm out. Peace.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Dom the Marco.